Blazing the steel. Bring the heat. Mix it non-stop. With the hottest DJ.
I'm your host, Joshua Deeds.
Non-stop.
Welcome everybody to the lab. It is the first day of September, 4:08 here on the West Coast. And thank you for being here, making the lab a part of your day. Appreciate everybody coming in. I see we're a little charged up. I get it. I understand. I get it. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much, everybody, for liking and subscribing and sharing. And thank you so much to the mods, the subscribers, anybody that watches, the members. Thank you guys so much. Before we get into it, I'm going to share my take on Adventures with Purpose and the quote unquote whatever. I don't know if it's a controversy or what you might call it, and I know that most everybody has an opinion about it, and I'm no different. I definitely have an opinion, I look, man, it's a title. Adventures with Purpose or Profit. Look, it's okay to discuss these things. It's okay to have an opinion about these things. But has anybody noticed that anything that touches the true crime community withers? fast. It's fast, it's just it's a nonstop cycle of the crossovers and the worlds colliding is interesting, devastating. It's a little bit of everything. And real fast, I wanted to give a shout out to Bend, Oregon. They were a couple nights ago. There was a shooting at the Safeway where 2 people died, 2 people injured, and the gunman himself was committed or took his own life. So our thoughts and prayers are with them. Once again, they cite the young man who did that, cites Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris, again, making Columbine lasting effect on the world. Those 2 made such an incredibly sad impact, which is what they wanted to do for future generations. And they have succeeded at that, and which is a terrible, terrible thing. And they just keep rearing their ugly head. It seems like all these mass shooters have something in common where they absolutely, for some reason, worship the Columbine kids who were sick and ill and just a detriment to society, detriment to their friends. And their legacy lives on every time something like this happens. And it is really, really upsetting. And so I just wanted to say that, yes, they're incels. And hey, Lab, it's always good to see you, Josh, and get words of wisdom. I'm kind of confused about all this. I love AWP, but I feel like all the extra stuff could have waited till the investigation. And I'm going to ask everybody, please don't argue in the chat. There's no reason for it. Are you burnt after reading? Your voice is the same. Sorry if I should know. I'm late to the party. I don't know who that is, but no, it's not me. Let me see. I got a pinned comment here. It was let me see here. Marshall Lambert says, Josh, AWP doesn't do anything for profit. They do all that they do because of donations. Think I will unsubscribe and not support you financially. Look, I mean, that's your choice. I haven't even said anything yet, so it's a bit presumptuous, but I understand you want to stick up and fair enough. I ask you not to judge, look, the title's a question. The title's a question. It's not a statement. And I'm not the one that is asking, that was the one to ask the question. But is it a legitimate question? I don't know. All I'm going to do is give you my side. What it's a show, and I think that we're allowed to have discussions. I think that we are allowed to criticize if we want to, or praise when we want to. I think that it is something, speculation is something that can be done in a meaningful way without being derogatory, and criticism can be the same way. It can be the same way. So I Yeah. Your title makes it debatable. Well, that's the point. That's the point. That is the point. I really detest this title. Look, man, I get it. I get it. I understand. Now, there's been a lot of controversy over what's been going on. Normally, I don't dip my toe in to this kind of stuff, but I'm going to. I'm going to give you my opinion. And before there's a mutiny, I want to say that Adventures with Purpose, in my personal opinion, are doing the Lord's work, and I have nothing bad to say about them. So you can leave now knowing that that's not what this is. This is not a bash. This is not criticism. The question is, and what people are questioning is, why? And I'll tell you why. Adventures with Purpose do things that I'm not capable of doing at all. They do things that a lot of people aren't capable of doing. They're doing things that I don't want to do because I can't do them. And whether or not Adventures with Purpose, if you feel that what they're doing is with ill intent, and I do not believe that it is at all. I believe that they have a special skill and that they use that special skill. I think that Adventures with Purpose can do whatever they want on their channel for their members, for their subs. They didn't ask to be a part of this case, the Kiely Rodni case. They were asked. Nobody's getting a bill at the end of it. You want to support them, then you can. If you don't, then you don't have to. And the fact is, they did something that thousands of people couldn't do. And they found this young lady. Whatever reason that they did it for, I don't care. That I don't care what they want to do, for what reason they want to do it. The fact of the matter is that somebody could do. Look, people, there are people that are overseas fighting secretly for our freedom, that do things that most of us would not have. We wouldn't have the goal to do it, the strength to do it. But God bless anybody that can do it. God bless them for being able to. God bless them for choosing this. And I'm glad that there's people out there like them. I'm glad that there's people out there like them. And I don't care if they get rich. That's not my issue. That's not my concern. I don't think that that's what they do it for. I think that they're adventurous people and that they like to do adventurous things. And in their name, you hear the adventures with purpose. They've turned being adventurous into something productive. And I personally have not dived for anybody. I think that they did this without look, the fact of the matter is they really were not interested in doing this. And once again, this is the thanks that somebody who helps gets. It's just like, here we go. They didn't do anything wrong. Were they insensitive? Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that that wasn't their intention if that was the way that it was perceived by some people. They are allowed to do what they want with their channel. And as far as I know, that this is how they do all their cases. That the members get early access to videos. It just so happens that this one has crossed over into the true crime community. It's a fresh case with lots of speculation. They produce good videos. And I don't know. Look, I can't remember where I said this, but I'm talking about people who have made huge impacts on people's lives for the better. That's what I see Adventures of Purpose as. I don't know them personally. I don't know. I don't even know their names. I've seen some of their stuff and they seem pretty great at what they do. And God bless them. God bless them. And I'm happy that they were able to bring some closure to the case. However, when things like this, especially a 16-year-old girl at a party who's been missing, this is highly charged situation. Anybody that gets involved never comes out completely clean. You know, everybody that kind of touches these cases gets criticized in one way or the other. And then we find a way to criticize people who found her. We don't like the way that they did this, or we don't like the way that they did that. AWP, in my opinion, are giants. Because they do things that most people can't do. They do things that most people aren't willing to do. And even if people are willing to do it, they might not be that good at it. You think that there's not a lot of copycats out there? Not even copycats, just people that kind of do the same thing. It takes a very special skill. It takes a very special skill. And even me, somebody sitting up here, you know, having this discussion, I almost feel somewhat bad, and I get it. You know, people don't like the title, but there's a question mark there. I'm not calling them anything but heroes. I got nothing bad to say about them. Nothing. But folks, That's how this goes. Whenever there's somebody with they have some sort of special skill, and somehow there's money involved, either by donations or whatever it is. They're not sending the Rodney family a bill. Okay. They did something that nobody had done. They found her. They found her. Put that in the title then. I think the question mark will tell you all you need to know. The question mark will tell you all you need to know. It's not clickbait. It's an actual discussion because there are actual people that believe that what they're doing is profiting off of the misfortune of this family. And I would argue that basically everybody in the true crime community does that to a certain extent, including me. It's not my intention. It's not what I want to do, but they're helping. They're helping. They're absolutely helping. The Lab, this is still your channel and your followers. We are mature enough for the talk. I mean, it's a reasonable discussion, you know. I have zero problem. It's not, you guys, it's not about the title. It's not about the title. It's about the content. It's about the show. The title doesn't dictate what I'm going to say. And it didn't. And it doesn't. The title says Adventures with Purpose or Profit. Well, I say purpose. I say purpose. And I can't help you if you get hung up on a title. I can't help that. The fact that you don't want to listen before I say something, well, that's on you. I'm sorry. It's a question that I didn't bring up, but a lot of people have asked me about it. And guess what? Normally, I don't care. I don't. I swear to you, I do not really care. This isn't something that I usually pay attention to. This isn't something that I normally pay attention to. But I got asked about it a lot. And so let me say right here, and if you read the description of the show, go ahead and take a look at it. And what it says is, just hear me out. Hear me out. Adventures with Purpose are heroes. Do you got a problem with that? You don't agree with me? Okay, fine. You don't like my title? Good. I don't care. Why ask the question? You knew it would trigger. Trigger. How so? How is that a triggering question? There are people that feel both ways. I feel one way about it, and only one way. It's not about a title. I mean, if we're really, really gonna be that upset about a title, I don't know what to tell you. I don't think that title's clickbait one bit. I've never thought that. Is this a controversial subject? With some other people, yeah, it is, but not with me. Open for discussions, as all things should be. Adulting, you should be able to have an opinion and be heard, open-minded, with room to grow in your mind by considering the opposition. Do you, Josh? Thank you, Be Botanical. I appreciate that. Very much so. Very much so. AWP has very, how do I say this, protective supporters. I'm one of them, but I wanted to see what you were going to say before I said anything. I'm a fan. I'm a fan. I am a absolute fan. I just joined their channel not that long ago. Guess what? I still haven't watched the Kiely Rodni video. Not because I don't want to. I just haven't. I just haven't yet. But they, by the way, this is what they do with their material. They're allowed to do that. How else do they keep going? How else do they keep moving forward? What they do isn't cheap, and there are people that do want to support them and that do support them, and that's fair. Josh, please explain how they ever came under attack in the beginning. To me, it's totally ridiculous. A real clickbait. I'll tell you that. Real clickbait. That's how. Real clickbait. Not a question and a title. Lost Again says, geez, people, what if they do it for profit? The bills don't pay themselves. I don't care what kind of money they make. At all. I don't care at all. They're allowed to operate their business in the way that they want. Tomorrow, non-members can watch Punchline. They're releasing it tomorrow for everybody. This is how they run their channel. And everybody's got their underoos in a bunch because they feel like somehow this is new and that they are exploiting. And they're not. Not in my opinion. At all. Josh, how are you feeling now? Accident or foul play? I still think accident, but that's whatever. I don't. I think accident, but I don't know. I don't know. And True Colors became a YouTube member. I'm gonna lighten the mood. My monthly lab dues just came out of bank account while watching. If I had someone missing, I would want AWP there. And thank you so much. I appreciate you being a member and being here. Underoos. Yeah. Underoos. Beck says, thank you for saying this. These men are finding people unlike the LOL cows Krama. I don't know. I don't know who that is specifically. My opinion, it's just being Kylie's birthday is wrong time to put it out. Wait a week, then fine. Like I said, there are a lot. I mean, I'm not, uh, I'm not the YouTube police, and I just don't have a problem with what they're doing. I think what they're doing is good stuff. And if people get their feelings hurt along the way, look, man, if it wasn't for them, I mean, sure, they probably still be looking. They were asked. They were asked. Of course, I support them. I'll always. I knew about them before, and I'll always support them. If my child was missing, like somebody said in the comments, I would want them to come help my child. Please come help my child. Exactly. They may not have known it was Kylie's birthday, but I am fully in support of what they've done. I don't care. I'm not counting their money. I'm not questioning their memberships. They have overhead and they have to be able to travel from state to state, and they find people. It's like, does anybody remember the movie The Perfect Storm? When George Clooney, they were really upset because Clooney wanted to go somewhere to look for the fish, and the entire boat was like, no, we can't go there. And they were telling him, you're off your rocker, you've lost it. You're off your rocker, you've lost it. You're off your rocker, you've lost it. And he literally turns around and says, screams at him, I find the fish. That's what I do. And it's like, well, his track record can't really be up for debate. His track record's not up for debate, because what does he do? He gets results. And they got results. I apologize to anybody that thinks that the title is anything more than that. Read the description and you'll know more. It's a question. I'm allowed to ask a question. I support Adventures with Purpose. You know, I don't know. I don't know how long that would have went on. I don't know how long that went on. I do support them and thankful they do this horrible job. Finding deceased people is never easy, but respect for the victims is what I'm saying. I agree with that too. I agree with that too. Not clickbait, just a topic. They are making it sound like you categorize them. You know, it's a business. They're genuinely good-hearted as a bonus. I mean, of course it is. I mean, things cost. Things cost. Yes, I do. I support them even financially. I'm a member of their channel now. No, Bertie, I don't, because that would really anger people. And I'm not I really don't want that. Contrary to, popular belief, it's not what I want. I've already made some of my members upset, which is fine, and honestly, and I say this wholeheartedly and honestly, I apologize if that's the way that it was taken. I truly do. If you read the title and you think that it was wrong for me to put it that way, fine. I'm not adverse to any criticism. Did I think that it would start controversy? No, not really. I thought some people would go, oh, well, I wonder what he's going to say. Well, okay. Fine. Yeah. Two things can be true at one time as well. They're using their skills and the money that they make to help people. That's it. You really need to watch before you judge. Mm. If donors and sponsors give them $1 trillion, fine by me. I agree with that as well. Maybe not. I mean, maybe I don't owe an apology, but it was not, and it is not my intention to make people upset through a title. First of all, it's a title, and I thought, look, if I would have came out and put adventures with profit, no question mark, then I could see that. But I didn't. And that's not what we're here for. That's not what I was here for. Lily says it's a controversial question. They risk their lives every time they dive. I would not question them doing so for profit. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if what they do it for. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I'm sure that they do it for all the right reasons. I don't. Once again, I'm not here to judge that. They can do it for whatever reason they want. They found her, and they find people. There's the reason that they do it. To make a dedicated live to the question is questionable. No, it's not that what you're saying. You're just doubling up on words, trying to make it sound different than it is. A question is a question. It's not a questionable question. What does that mean? A questionable question? Now you're going to get, Kenny, now you're going to get a little bit here. I'm going to break it down for you, Kenny. What we do is we put titles up. People can come and listen if they want. If you don't want to listen, then don't. If you don't want to hear my opinion, don't watch. You have the option to or to not watch this show. The lab or not to lab? Question mark. You don't have to be here. You don't like the show? Skip it. It's not questionable. To make a dedicated live to question the question is questionable. It's not. It absolutely is not. That's another problem. I don't want to be a jerk, but last time I checked, this is my show. Last time I checked, this is my opinion. Last time I checked, it's voluntary to be here. And I appreciate you being a member. And I'm sure after this, you won't be a member anymore. And I understand that because you obviously don't like the way sometimes I title stuff. Fine. Fair enough. Fair enough. The title will also make thousands of people click on your channel to vend AWP. That's helping your channel too. Maybe. I don't know. It's possible. It's possible. I don't know if that will or not. I don't know how hot of a topic this is for me. I have no clue. Grandma's advice became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Barbie on the West Coast says, we come to hear what Josh has to say. It's a choice. I agree with that. Thank you. You don't have to listen. There are other people that have different opinions than me on YouTube that you can go listen to and support and do whatever. The fact of the matter is, I understand that it's ridiculous that I'm even doing a show about these, as I refer to them, giants, when the rest of us YouTubers are standing on their shoulders pretending that we're flying when we're not. We're on the sidelines. Okay, so I agree with you there. I agree with you that I probably have no business criticizing them, and that's why I'm not. And that's why I'm not. There's no criticism here. The only criticism is the title with like 5 or 6 people. That's what the criticism is. But I would challenge every other YouTuber in the world that has a problem with what they do to go buy a paddle boat or a canoe and get your ass off the couch and go do it. And go do it. Have fun. It's not easy stuff to do. There is no criticism here. None. The only criticism is me being criticized. And that's fine. And that's fine. It's a title period. Other YouTubers put up titles that are completely unrelated topics, so please let's move on. The drama is not needed, and I bet AWP would agree. I don't believe there is any drama here. You know, I'm not bent out of shape one bit. True Crime Utah, not. I'm not bent out of shape one little bit. Not at all. I'm glad that they do. Be Botanical, thank you so much for that super sticker. I love listening to you, Josh. I even love opposing ideas. Tell them, don't break the door. And that's the thing. I don't even like saying, hey, get out of here, get out of here, get out of here. I don't like doing that. That's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm about. Every single day, there are controversial topics that I ignore, that I don't want to talk about, but they get results. And I don't believe that they're controversial at all. They say don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, look, the title, we really got to get past the title, folks. We really got to get past the title and into the meat and potatoes of what these men actually do. That's it. And what they do is provide answers when there were none. And I'm for that. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. No, I wasn't saying a word, Josh, that someone else is causing drama, criticizing it would be money. I would give generously to them. Yeah, of course. Imagine that was, I think about it from the point of view of that. It was my child. And I would want any help that I could get. Now, I don't want to speak on the mother and father of Kiely, but what they're going through is tragic, and that no parent should have to go through it. And what makes them upset is understandable. I'm sure all of it makes them upset. I'm sure everything makes it upset. I don't know what their relationship with AWP is, and that's not my business. It's also not my business to tell somebody that to run their channel the way that theirs. Just like it's not it's not anybody's business to really tell me how to run mine. Although I do take constructive criticism to heart. Poetry in Motion, Impeding an Investigation. That is a great title, because you can have an opinion on that too if you want. It's okay to have it. It's okay to think about that. I don't know. It'd be really hard to criticize somebody for impeding an investigation that was asked to come help when nobody else could find her. That doesn't seem like impeding whatsoever. What that actually feels like is advancing an investigation. But Poetry in Motion, feel free to feel however you want. That's why I wouldn't use the title impeding an investigation, because I'm not worried about them impeding an investigation. I'm worried about people criticizing people that are doing amazing work. Impeding an investigation? How are they impeding an investigation? The investigation was at a standstill. Why don't we call it advancing an investigation? Let's do that. Let's call it advancing an investigation, because there's no question about the investigation without Adventures with Purpose. So don't come here comparing apples to oranges. Because that's what you're doing. It's the same thing as I don't even remember who it was that said, it's questionable. It's a questionable question or something. I can't even remember. Something weird. It's just play on words. Impeding an investigation. What about, hey, you want to do another one? What if AWP never showed up? Question mark. But they did. But they certainly did. And what they do? They found her. They found her. Let's see here. No one should judge a family during the most difficult time of their lives. Whatever happened to giving people a little grace? I don't know. Yeah, I mean the case that was going nowhere. Nowhere. Lost again. I hope those men make millions. A good man rarely makes what they're worth. I'm sure their families would love to regularly have food in the fridge. Maybe even they can go to the movies. Lost again. That's absolutely right. I've seen you in chats and watched. I've seen you in chats and watched your seldom comments. You've never criticized one creator. I'm that's I mean, it's not what I do. It's not what I'm doing. They are creators the same way that I am, but what they're creating to me is something so important. God bless them. And the reason that I talk about this stuff is because I have an audience. I get emails all the time. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? I chose to answer this. I have an audience of people that listen to me and want to know my opinion sometimes. God forbid. That's how this works. AWP has found so many missing people. They're so amazing. Plus, they don't charge the family or LE. That's what I'm saying, man. If that was a company that was like hired, I mean, you're looking $20,000, $30,000 just like that. Just like that. And by the way, when I put this title up and I knew anything with them in the title, some people were not going to be happy one way or the other. But I was asked, and not just by one person, not by two, not by five, many. What do you think? Well, here I am giving you my opinion. It's easier than answering 25 emails. I would like, I've seen them. I've seen your emails. I've seen your messages. Here I am. You want to listen to it? You can listen to it. You don't want to listen to it? Fine. You don't like the title? Go away. You like the title? Come on in. Not going to hurt my feelings. More than 7. More than 7. Absolutely more than 7. You know, I mean, come on. Come on. I think that, and guess what? I'll tell you what, if this makes you feel any better, I obviously, I seriously regret this show. But I'm not going to make everybody happy all the time. But I regret that I have a couple members that were upset, people that watch me, people that haven't watched me. I hate that a title could cause such a commotion. I don't like it. That's okay though. I don't care. It's regrettable. It's regrettable. I think you're amazing, Josh. I just wish I had money to make you answer my text. That's not how that works either. But Sally, thank you so much. I see your comments. I see your comments. It's YouTube, enough said. And poetry in motion. I don't know exactly what you're trying to say. I don't know if you're for them, against them. I don't know if you're for me, against me. I don't know. It's really hard to take that statement in any way. Josh, it's regrettable and revealing, in my opinion. You'll never be able to please all the people, as the old saying goes. I'm not, that's the thing, is that I'm not trying to please or not please people. I'm not trying to cause problems. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. I truly do feel that everybody is entitled to their opinion. People say that in jest. I don't say that in jest. I truly mean that. I absolutely truly mean it. And it's indicative of where we are. Everybody likes the freedom of speech until they don't agree with you. Freedom of speech isn't just for people, for the people that you agree with. That's not how it works. That's just not how it works. People are allowed to feel how they want. They're allowed to voice their. If they're disrespectful about it, well, that's their problem, and that's for other people to decide. But their opinion is their opinion. Their attitude is different from their opinion. Poetry Emotion says the issue is the content of that particular episode, Josh. I understand what the controversy is. I just don't accept it personally because this is what they do. This is how they operate their channel, their program, their whatever. This is how they work. They're allowed to do that. And they do. And doesn't seem like they've handled this case any other different than any other case. The problem is all the eyes on this case. Adventures with Purpose isn't the problem. They certainly aren't. The question mark is the key, as they said in chat. I agree with that. It is the high profile, it's the high profile of the case. There's no question about that. None whatsoever. That's why we're here discussing it. And discussing it is just that. It's just a discussion. Guys, I wouldn't want any one of you to agree with me that doesn't. Please don't. If you have an opposite opinion of what I have, I'm going to respect it, but to the point of where if your opinion is disrespectful to other people, like if you're taking shots at me saying, your opinion's stupid, you're dumb. Well, that's not really a debate. That's just you calling me names. Freedom of speech to me means honest dialogue and civility, regardless of perspective. Kudos for your authenticity. Keep your powder dry, my friend. Dr. Latina, and thank you so much for that. And it's good to see you. Dr. Latina and I have had conversations where we didn't agree on stuff at all. We were in totally opposite directions, but you know what? It's a very civil discussion. It's a very civil discussion. It always has been. Personal attacks and discussions. They certainly do. Yeah, I've had conversations with a lot. Today my son was talking to me about the NBA, and I said, "Well, and we go back and forth on the NBA all the time. We're always debating, we're always arguing." And I said to him today, and this is extremely topical. I said to him, "You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know as much about it as I do." And he says, "Well, that you have now just not morally, but you've just bankrupted your argument. That just telling him you don't know what you're talking about is not a discussion. It was me trying to put an end to the conversation, but it wasn't a debate." Right then and there, I said, "Hey, you don't know what you're talking about." And he goes, That's your opinion." That's true. That's true. That wasn't the best. We cheat ourselves when we fail to listen to others' perspectives. Agreed. Agreed. And by the way, I don't know where everybody else comes from, but I come from the podcasting world where the only way to talk about stuff is having different opinions. That's the point of what we're supposed to be doing here. And back to my original point. Adventures with Purpose, love them or hate them, and I choose to love them and respect everything that they do, did an amazing thing. How they handled it after isn't my business. I don't have a problem with what they did. It seems as though that's the way they run their channel. The fact of the matter is, this was a sensitive and still is a sensitive, ongoing discussion, and people get upset over that stuff. I agree that whatever happened to this young lady is terrible. And there was never going to be a good way to handle it. And the ending was not what everybody wanted. There was never going to be a good time. They could have put this stuff out a year later and people would still have said something about it. It's what exactly, I mean, what channel doesn't give their members perks? Everybody tomorrow can watch the Adventures with Purpose video that they did on this for free. You won't have to pay. You don't have to pay. I'm not, they didn't, what did they do? They found Kiely Rodni in her car when nobody else could. That's what they did. This is nothing compared to the only little bit of drama in the acrylic pouring community when someone disclosed a non-trade mark recipe. Oh, the nerve. Oh, the nerve. Thank you for being real, Jeff. Thank you for being here. I appreciate that. Yep. Damned if you do and damned if you don't. And then so what if they show up there, they don't find her, and they're like, "Oh, they didn't look long enough." I mean, it's just they found her in 30 minutes, something suspicious. It's just like, dude, let's talk about Building 7 and the World Trade Center some more. Let's talk about the Pentagon that didn't get hit by a plane. Come on. This isn't government grand conspiracies. Fact of the matter is, there was either foul play or there wasn't foul play. These men found her, and they found her car, and they provided answers to where she was with law enforcement. And now we're done. Now we're done. Josh, what do you think about Eddie coming forward with that tow truck driver? Caitlin, I don't have an opinion on it. I don't know. I have no idea. I have an unrelated to the topic question. I know you support law enforcement big time, but do you think they should have patrolled that party? I mean, they would have if they were patrolling it, they probably would have had to shut it down. So, yeah. No one wants wait until toxicology report is back. Yeah, I mean they found her fast. I think it's the so JLo too. Thank you for your question. I think what it is, it's the very specific topic of Kiely Rodni, because of, I mean, look, TMZ was reporting on this, the New York Post, blah, 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 and just on and on and on. And I mean, it got this major media coverage. She's a 16-year-old girl. And these men were asked to come in and help. And they did. And they did what they do. And unfortunately, it turned out the way that it did. But that was never going to change no matter what they did. I mean, they just found it. Nutty Nelly, this live got extremely awkward. I disagree. I think this live was necessary. I think these kinds of conversations are necessary. B Botanical says it's a tragedy for everyone. I agree. This is why good cops are retiring en masse. Yeah, it's quite the exodus, isn't it? Yes, Jonesy, I heard that too. They said they didn't really want to find her. They wanted to clear it. The point of them was say, hey guys, she's not in here. But that's just not how it worked. I have no doubt the expenses they must have for the equipment, gas, accommodations is huge. 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 You know, look, man, I don't know. I don't know when. I think she would have been found eventually, but who knows how long this could have gone on for. This title is not clickbait. You know, I think from now on, every show that I do, the title of the show will be "This title is not clickbait." Yeah, look, I don't know if they actually expected to find her. I don't think they did. And I think it was a shock to them. And then they were thrust into this overwhelming spotlight. And Dr. Latina says AWP published their members 48 hours prior to the public as per their long-standing channel policy. Yes, this is what they do. This is how they are. That is how their channel works. It's how their channel works. It's not for us to decide. The look on Nick's face when he came out of the water was heartbreaking. I saw the preview, like it was pretty gnarly. It's just it's a shock. I mean, people, I don't know how they say about 23 people or 23 cases, or they found the cars, and I don't know how many bodies that they found, but I'm guessing every single time to have to witness that kind of stuff is it sucks. But like I said at the beginning, thank God that there are people like them that do it, because I'm not doing it. I don't like swimming deep. I just don't. No, Cam, I completely understand. Yeah, like bones, remains. Because they go look on old, like very old cold cases. This isn't really what they do. This isn't really what they do. Like the purpose of it isn't, from what I understand, they weren't even asking to get involved with this. That they were asked to come along, and then this is the thanks they get. I'm with you, Josh. I refuse to swim in anything I can't see the bottom of. Little bit says we can only imagine how he felt when he saw her in that car, and yeah, I thought about that. I mean, what do I need to? I know what happened. Trust me. I can tell you right now, Poetry, I'm not going to be offended by the video. Some people may be offended by the video. I'm not going to be. I think that what they did was heroic and brave, and this is how they operate. They've done nothing out of the ordinary. They've done nothing that they don't regularly do. So I'm not going to be offended by the video. I don't want to see anything graphic at all. I don't need to see people are so weird about it. Oh, can you see? I don't want to. I don't need to see her. I don't need to see I just don't need to. Well, would it bother me? I don't know. I'm not going to test that out. Right. So okay, so there you go. Nothing graphic on it. Well, I didn't think there was. I didn't think there was. I didn't think that was the kind of thing that they do. It was respectful and refreshing to see some empathy from people. They did not show her. Yeah, like I said, man, if you think that they were like pumped about this, they weren't. They were not. It is not correct. It's just not something that's man. AWP has done the same regimen on every time first call the law and hand it over for them to investigate. I saw that they also put out let me read. I think me see here. They put something on their community page, I believe. Let's see here. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, special update. This is 2 hours ago, and the original video at 39:44. Doug makes the phone call to Kiely's aunt and grandmother, to let them know first that AWP had found Kiely and her Honda CRV in Prosser Creek Reservoir. This section of the video has been removed in honor of a request by the family's representative. Due to the sensitive nature and privacy the family wishes to have and maintain during these hard times. As in all of our past cases, we prioritize the wishes of the family first and foremost. We are honored to serve Kiely's family to help them bring closure during these hard times. Our thoughts and prayers go out to everyone in the Rodni Neiman family, so that the healing can begin and more answers be brought to light in the weeks and months ahead. There you go. Couldn't have been said any better. Appreciate Adventures with Purpose and what they do. Thank you guys. Appreciate you being here on the lab. Catch you guys later. I want to thank you all for the super stickers and super chats, new members, old members, and canceled members. Yeah. Don't feel sorry. Everything's fine. I'm not upset at all. Thank you so much. If you didn't think that I thought, look, I knew that there were going to be people that didn't like it. It's okay. I don't feel like I did anything wrong. I love them too, just as much. Thank you. I've been attacked before.
Blazing the steel. Bring the heat. Mix it non-stop. With the hottest DJ.
I'm your host, Joshua Deans.
Non-stop.
Don't say any F's and stuff. Don't say any F's and stuff.
There is no investigation. This boy has.
There is not really. News to me.
Don't say any F's and stuff.